Hello, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. I'm Paula, by the way, and I'm in New Zealand, so I'm in the southern hemisphere, just for those that don't know. Anyway, I've just finished rewatching all 15 seasons of The Supernatural. Now, it's really been quite good because it's allowed me to sort of get back into what the characters are about, what's their journey, what do they bring to the TV series. It's been really, really good. Especially with the Supernatural Oracle, it sort of helped me sort of get to know the characters a little bit more and dive into it. Now, having the Supernatural Tarot as well, of course, has another layer to it, adds another layer to it now that I've sort of rewatched the TV series. So I think it's quite important if you're working with some sort of tarot or oracle deck that's connected to a TV show or a movie, that you rewatch it, that you allow yourself to sort of dive into it again. So what I want to do is sort of dive back into the tarot deck with it, and just a sort of a little bit of a thought and a reflection in the characters. And what actually flew out? Oh, that gave me a bit of a heart attack. 2 cards dived out here. So what 2 cards have we got? Interesting. So I felt, yeah, so that's quite interesting. So I do feel like the TV series is like an old friend, is like a friend. Definitely felt like that. And then we've got 7 of Bones. So 7 of Bones is that sense of like 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is that standing up for what I believed. And I felt like the characters, talking about the characters, really stood for what they believed in many things. And they, created friends within that series, which is kind of interesting. It sort of came up. So what an interesting diving into this here. So what's this card here? So it brought in connections. So the TV series is really about friends and connections, and that allowing them to sort of stand up for what they truly believed in. The characters really stood for what they believed in very strongly. They fought for what they believed in. Feels like they were a light out of all the darkness. They were the wishes fulfilled for some of the victims and things like that. It's kind of interesting when we're sort of talking about the TV series, these cards sort of flipped out. I thought that was quite interesting. It's definitely about friendships, celebrating all the small wins, like all the small friendships and things that they made. The connections was super, super important. Connections were so important to them. It really allowed them to sort of feel like they were standing up for what they truly believed, allowing them to be that light out of all the darkness coming in. They were that shining light out of all that darkness. Oh, kind of interesting. Okay, it was all about they had to make wise choices all the time. Just because something was shiny, it didn't mean it, something looked good. Doesn't necessarily mean it was good. Sometimes, they made the wrong choices in some cases, or they made the right choice at the wrong time, or made the wrong choice at the right time, sort of thing. Kind of interesting as they dived into that. And you see here we've got this with Jack, right? And Jack was he tried to be good. He really worked hard at being the best he could possibly be, thinking about what the Winchesters would do, is his little thing here. And this connection between Bobby and Rufus was, they had a love-hate relationship. They had this friendship that came from something that was really rooted in something that they had in common in regards to the hunting side of things. So it's quite interesting being able to look back on rewatching the TV series, enabling me to sort of really connect with the characters in this way. So let's have a look at the Oracle now that we've looked at the tarot deck in many ways. So let's pull out the oracle and let's see what I can get from just from the characters without actually going too much into the book at this stage. Let's just have a think about. Ooh, quite interesting. Okay, Dean's amulet. Now, Dean's amulet was sort of a for him. It was a sort of a something that was quite precious to him. It was given to him, and it lit up when God was in present. You know, when God was present. So sort of that divine connection. It was that sort of. It felt like it was a compass to the divine, if you like. And it was interesting because here we've got a few other cards that popped out. So we've got God. Okay, now God was the writer. He was the one that sort of created the journey, if you like. He's the one that sort of created the journey. And we've got the salt with the protection. You know, the salt is that protection, being able to sort of look outside the norms of everyday life to protect oneself, to take care of oneself, to do what's important here. So then we've got Castiel, the angel, who came in with a very dramatic entrance. Now he was this one who learnt about what being human was about and sort of having that sense of right and wrong, sort of following the plan, and then realizing that following that plan may not always be the best choice. Sometimes we need to be a little bit more flexible in the choices that we make. And then we've got the darkness, that opposite to the light, sort of embracing the shadow side of ourselves, allowing us to grow and develop into from an ideal to a sense of what's right and wrong on some level, sort of having that connection with Dean as well. There was that connection with Dean, grew very fast. There was a very entitled energy when she was young, a very entitled energy when she was young, and then a sense of surrender. So it was kind of interesting. An interesting journey indeed. When we look at it, just looking at the characters without sort of diving into the guidebook, it sort of gives you that sense of, okay, we're lighting the way, we're shining the way, we're being guided. Now we're guided by something that can be a little bit manipulative, who can be a sense of, like in the TV series is what I'm talking about. Okay, so God in this TV series is very manipulative. He's the one that's writing the story. He's the one that is really acting like a spoiled child in many ways, where the darkness, or Amara, is the mature aspect of that yin and yang energy, that sense of what's right and what's wrong. You know, she starts off as being very entitled, but grows and develops into this new entity in some way. We've got Castiel, who really shows the sense of following the plan, being told what to do, but realizing that flexibility is important here, to be able to adjust to the human emotions and things that are going on. And the salt with the protection, being protected, being able to look outside the square of the norms to be able to protect oneself. You know, sometimes we need to not be too tied down by what everyone's telling us, and do what is necessary to be able to live with integrity in some ways. So kind of interesting here. And so we get this connections that we create, this celebration of life in many ways, this ability to stand up for what one believes throughout their journey, knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is this light out of all the darkness. And, you know, it allows us to look at the choices that we actually make in life. So I really felt like this TV series really gets down to that, how important family is, or how important is the family that we choose to be. I'm not talking necessarily blood. Our family can be one of a sense of community in many ways. And I think that really shows in this TV series. It's not necessarily blood as such, even though there is that relationship between Dean and Sam and Mum and Dad and that sort of thing within the TV series. But I think the family unit is so much more than that, with the hunters that they've connected with. So kind of interesting there, those connections that they make. Yeah, I really felt that interesting. So getting to know, rewatching a TV series or a video, a movie, allows us to reconnect with the tarot or oracle cards within our collection. And I think that's kind of really important here. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed be. A big thank you to my Ko-Fi members, Ko-Fi family, supporters, those that are following. Also those that have subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you very, very much indeed. Muchly appreciated. Make sure you like the video. Take care. Blessed be.